I'm very pleased to be interviewing Britta Ware, who's Vice President, Research Solutions for Meredith Corporation. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for being here.
Britta, I always like to start with the question, what have you, where have you done your research work before? How did you get to where you are today? Can you give us a little overview?
Okay, I can go way back. I can go 5 years back. My background in research started about 15 years ago, but I'll give you a little bit of background how I got there. I actually majored in German when I was in college, so there's actually no connection between research and German. But after I graduated, I was thinking more about how to apply German and my learning in college, and realized what I was really interested in was people and understanding people. And something creative but something structured. So actually I started out working in San Francisco in media planning at Dancer Fitzgerald Sampling Agency out there, and spent about 15 years working in media planning, both at Dancer and Footcone and Saatchi when I moved back to New York. At that point, I was spending a lot of time kind of understanding the consumer, interpreting that to clients, and was offered a position working at Reader's Digest by their research director at the time, who said, I understand you have an interest in the consumer, and we're looking for someone to translate what planning folks, how they use research, and translate that to them in a better way than we're currently doing. I think to date, or to that date, which I think was in the mid-90s, research had been sort of a backroom function, and you kind of brought them out once in a while when you needed some statistical numbers of support. But the idea that I was bringing to research was to translate complicated terms into English. And that's still my kind of goal with research, is to take the backroom stuff and bring it to the forefront and have conversations with anybody, not just researchers. So I worked at Reader's Digest and headed up their research department after the research director who hired me left 9 months later, and learned through a number of interesting and really intelligent mentors at that point. Dave Gantman is one of them, who currently works at Marketing Evolution, who kind of held my hand, took me along, and taught me a lot of the background and the history of research, which got me really interested. So I was at Reader's Digest for 10 years, and then running all the magazine work over there, and moved to Meredith about 5 years ago. And this is a different job in that we're heading up a number of magazines, and also recently brought off the internet side.
So you've been in print and magazine for a number of years. You've seen some tremendous change. What do you think has precipitated that change, and how are you adapting to it?
That's the question that's on everyone's mouths these days. What's happening? And it's really a full circle here. What came first? I think the growth of digital media has been a game changer in this area. Consumers are looking online and looking to quicker means of getting information. So that's been the game changer. So magazines, we're adapting to how the consumer, in Meredith's case, the woman, is looking for information. So it's a matter of trying to understand how to reach her in the way she wants to be reached. So I think for magazines have gone through a lot of changes, and some have adapted well, and some I think have adapted not as well. At Meredith, our focus is on home, family, and personal development, which are three things that will never go away. So we're giving content to a woman in a format that she's expressed real interest in getting. I think there are other categories that have had to change or adapt more dramatically: finance, entertainment, business, where the expectation of getting news immediately has increased and is being delivered through the internet. So they've had to change a little bit more. Not to say the magazines here at Meredith aren't going through changes. They absolutely are. It's a matter of kind of making a different place for the woman to go. So, for example, with Fitness Magazine, the focus in the magazine is about a healthy lifestyle, giving examples on exercises, giving examples on healthy diet, but you can go online and get 100 exercises to do with the medicine ball. You're not going to get 100 exercises in the magazine, nor would you expect that. The reading experience is an escape. It's a sit back and enjoy, and the editor does a great job of bringing you the top line of everything, but you can go online and get more. So making that combination, I think, is a challenge for magazines. And who knows what's going to happen down the line with the actual printed magazine. I mean, the e-readers and electronic readers, I think, are definitely an option for the future. It'll just be a matter of is the technology advanced enough to meet the consumer demand for that comfortable sit-back reading escape experience.
It's been a theory of mine for a while that radio and print are actually just going through the growing pains, and that the future looks arguably even brighter for those media because they're transcending platform, and they'll be able to compete with television, for example, on the same playing field, which I think would be broadband. What type of preparations are you doing from a research perspective to meet that challenge?
Well, I think I'm not going to speak to radio specifically. I think TV is going through a huge change itself, and similar to what I just described with magazines, the content is what people are looking for. So a television show can be seen on a small device like you have. It could be seen on a computer. It's about the content. So we have similar issues with television in that way. And in terms of measurement, I think we're way ahead of television in terms of understanding who reads and how they read and what they read and when they read. And I think that the onus is on the print community to make sure that people know that.